Sai Baba made my day. Of course, he makes all my days, but he is God. But he says, in this unreal world, there can only be unreal life. Isn't that liberating? Thoughts are never outside of you. And when you think of a problem, the problem is never outside of you. It's only in your thoughts. Well, think different. Don't give the attention to something that's only in your own mind. It's the mind giving attention to the content of its own mind. Well, why not think about roses and sunshine? No problem. There are free will. I would say about free will. People say they have a free will. They can do whatever they want. And it's, of course, not when you are in a personal form. You don't even exist, so you cannot have a free will because you are placed by the imagination of your own formlessness. So the formlessness made up a story with thousands and thousands of forms moving between each other, among each other, but there's always only this one self in all those forms. And when you are in that form, you think you have a free will. And because of you think so, you act, and you think that you act, and you have to bear the consequences. And that's seen from that oneness that creates all. It is an endless movie with all you can see what happens in the world, all free wills. One aggressor against another state, parliament, and whatever is happening in the world, poor people and rich people and wars, and that's all due to the free will. But it's the one, of course there is a free will, but it's not yours. You are an object, and a puppet on a string. And the one free will that exists is that of the deep inside beingness that has the free will to create and to imagine all sorts of forms. And that's the free will of the beingness, the self. But the little self that are created, they don't even, they are created, they are imagined, they are manipulated, they are formed by that one formlessness. So how can there be free will in that what doesn't even exist? Well, the idea of having a free will is that from inner self. The inner self can imagine whatever it likes. I imagine Donald Duck, and then Donald Duck is running around with a free will. He wants to get this and he wants to do that. Well, I am the one who created this Donald Duck. So how can this duck, quack, 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 have a free will? But that's the imagination, that's the fun about it. You can see whatever happens when you create things, when you make things up, you think of things, you you write a book, or you make a poem, or you make an adventure. That's all creation that's all making things up. You are free to make this story, and you're free to make that story. But the ones in the story, they cannot act by themselves. They are depending on what you write. So that's what about free will. The people who think they have it, they suffer, because that free will is never free. Oh, by the way, a will is never free. A will is always pressure. But okay, you don't exist, so there's no free will in you. There's nothing. You are not a thing. You don't exist. The only thing exists is the empty, living awareness. It's all that it thinks. It appears out of the Creator. That's what you are. But you don't create. You don't even create. You just suppose. Suppose this would be. Suppose that would be. But it isn't. It's only imagination. Be happy, be happy. The circumstances is that what stands around you. A circumcise of the things around you, and you are in the middle, in the midst of what is seen. But I don't mean you as the person, the body, because all that is seen stands around you, is what is seen around you, what you are. But I am not that. I am that seeing, and seeing is from the inner out. It's not that you see there the things in the light. No, it is the light inside that makes it visible. Because when there is no light outside in the darkness, you see nothing. So it's not that light that makes it visible. It is your inner light that shines through you on the circumstances. And it's not only circumstances from material stuff, but what's more important, the things that make you think and make you react on that, and it takes you out in that world over there. But you are inside. You cannot be taken out in that world. You are not in that world. You are not even in here. It's around you. If it falls away, it disappears, you are still there. And you were always there. You have not even not been. It is the being. You are the to be, the beingness. And that's the most important of all. And what is surrounding you, it's for pleasure or to use for comfort, or it's there for you. You can use it, but don't think it's your property or that you are depending on it. It's not that. You are independent in here, inside the form. There's the formlessness. It is independent. It's eternal, everlasting bliss. If you are aware that all that surrounds you is just temporal and it's not real. It's not lasting. So keep your attention in that, make it grow, make it make it be, make it have the place that it is, that it has, and all the other things are added, and they come and they go, but the inner being is eternal, and that makes you so happy. I wish you can feel it. I know you can feel it. Be blessed to know that what you are, the being. It's the same one being everywhere. Happy, happy. The being that you are was before you. You as body came as a circumstance around your being. When you came from the free state, you entered a form. No, you are still formless. The form came around you. When you became a child, there was something that became the child, the baby. The baby grew around that what you were and what you always will be, what you are. I cannot give it a name, but because it is nameless and formless. It is living existence, formless living existence. And it grew. No, it didn't grow. You always see it from the form. No, see it from the formlessness. The form around it grew. And when it was good enough to go in the world, it was born. The form was born, but the inside, which is now still the same, is in. It will never come out. It is everywhere all, and the form around it makes it appear as a separated, limited being, and you think that you are imprisoned, but that what is inside is just, it is everlasting. And the body grew around it, and the body will drop away. And that what is inside doesn't change, it is your free being. And the mind in the body can start to accept that knowledge that it is not the body, and it is not worth to take so much attention, to give it so much attention as what shall I wear, or what is my hair dress, or what shall I eat. That's just all body, and the body will drop anyway, and you don't lose your beingness in this form. It's as if you have a car and you all day 24/7 you are taking care of the car, and it must be shiny, but it will rust away anyway. And that's the same. The car is for driving you somewhere, and the body is for driving your soul around to become transformed in, to accept, to understand it is not all this. That's the whole business. Body is an instrument. It can take you, your soul, to the white being that it is. It is inside. And the inside, the inner formless self, is always the same. And the soul is that which is between an in-between state between that and the body. But we give all attention to the body and to the things we live in the room. And I will have another painting, blah, blah. The curtains I don't like. That's all form. And you will spend your life and you will lose it. And your inner self has to make another body there to be in. But as long as you think you are the body, you will make others. You will make new lives, new bodies, go again through all these ups and downs. But as soon as you understand you are not none of this, it's circumstances, you feel your inner formlessness, eternal bliss. And thanks to the going into the body, it is discovered. It is free. The soul is back into the state of formlessness. But it is the most blissful state. So you will understand and you will feel it. You already feel it, otherwise you would not see these videos or so. I think. Be happy, be happy. Something inside feels what it is not. It feels it is not outside. It is not the circumstances. Outside is visible, circumstances are visible, but that what knows is not visible. That what sees is not visible, it is not seen. That inside now, what you feel, what you are, is eternal. It is aliveness, but it has no form because it is free from all forms. But it is very present. What you feel now, deep in you, inside this form that's around it, you feel that what feels is you. Give that the most attention possible, and all will shine. The soul is back home. It's the most blissful state. You feel it now. Blessed you are. Look at your form and know you are not that. It's so used and such a habit to look at yourself, but it is not the real self. It is the temporal instrument. It is not the real self, because the real self is in this self. Our mind says we are this, but our soul feels not free. And as soon as you start to see this cannot be, it cannot be real what I see, then you see from the inside. It is the inside that sees. And there the soul starts to feel, I want to be there. I don't want to go out there anymore. The soul wants to return and stay. And the more it starts to feel good there inside, the more it starts to be that inside. And the inside, what you really are, is always complete. But we have been thinking we were this outer form, the circumstances around that what we are. And it took ages to slowly start to see this is all imagination, it's all a dream, it's not reality. It feels so real, but in deep sleep there is nothing of this what is seen as reality. It's all gone, but the inside, the real you, that's what you are, is not gone. It's just always there. In the morning, in the night, whether the form around this is awake or it sleeps, that what you are inside is eternal, and you can reach it by your attention, giving it the attention. Then this will not grow, but the other will diminish. The attention will make it less important, and you will see that all will be taken care of. There will be enough warmth, money, food, whatever you need for life, because from the inner it is being taken care of. There is no more things that you need or want to do. That's the mind, and the mind is gone now. And the soul is not preoccupied with what the mind thinks, but the soul is back inside in your eternal blissful state. And the days go on. It doesn't matter. It's just expression of the free being. Blissful. Creation goes on and on, because ever again there is the wisdom that experiences itself by playing. It doesn't know. It's very bright of wisdom to act as if it doesn't know. But that's what God does. God enters all beings of creation and acts as if he doesn't know, and finds out finally and knows. And then another form is born, again growing from unknowing to knowing. And it's always blissful to reach that state of knowing. And it merges, it's gone. The form is gone and knowing remains. But another form is born out of that state, acting as if it does not know. So it's creation going on and on. That's the lingam of the creation. That's no beginning, no ending. It's just going on, and because it's just all fantasy, and it has no beginning and no end. It's just the play of unawareness becoming aware. But it must be aware before it starts to play unawareness. So there's nothing going on, in fact. This is the symbol of creation. It is not round, it is stretched out, because it always continues. It's the lingam. There's no beginning and no end, nowhere. That's what Sai Baba manifests in. Sometimes he did it in Shivaratri, the festival of the Shiva. And this is the symbol of that. He made it with his body. But that means that there is no beginning and no ending in fantasy. You are the one knowing, and you act as if you don't know. So that can go on, everlasting, that imagination. And the God in you, what you are, the all-knowing, plays in every form. It doesn't know and discovers that. So in every form it ends up full of bliss, and then dissolves, and another fantasy is born, and going on and going on. That's what creation is. But yeah, it feels real, and the bliss remains. It was not real, but the bliss remains because you found out what you are. You reached what you are. Although you never left it, it was just a play in the mind, creating. That's what is.